Good morning. It is Tuesday, July 30th, and we are on our last morning at the Nature RV Resort in Land O'Lakes, Wisconsin. We're going to get in the shower while we have full hookups, and then we're going to pack up. Today we're going to head south about 3.5 hours to have lunch in Green Bay, and then about another half an hour to an hour to Manitowac, Wisconsin. I think that's the way you say it, where we'll be spending the night. Our long trip home will take us through Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, and then on to Florida. Our first stop was in Manitowac, Wisconsin, where we stayed at a little RV park situated behind a hotel just off Lake Michigan. It's called the Village Inn. It was decent enough, pretty small spaces, but it had full hookups, and as it got warmer, we really needed the electricity. Right across the RV park, across a busy road, there was the Mariners Trail, which is a multi-use trail bordering Lake Michigan. After getting supplies at a local Walmart, we stopped by the Manitowacs Pho and Grill. Having frozen boba tea. Another had the beef pho. I had the combination pho, which I could back up way back because it's a huge bowl. And then we split a banh mi for dipping. Pho and the banh mi were really good, but we could barely make a dent in it. So we've got some pho, banh mi, and boba tea to take home. We couldn't leave Wisconsin without stopping at the Mars Cheese Castle. Not only do they have an abundance of cheeses, they have a full bar and a shopping area with crackers, breads, meats, just about everything you can want of a snack nature. Chocolate chips, all kinds of spices. Alright, so I'm having a Reuben with fries, pastrami Reuben with fries. And Janetta's copycat, she had the same thing except with chips. And then 2 raspberry lemonades. We both got Reubens from their snack bar, and while they were good, they were a little greasy. Just messy. On our way south, we stopped at a harvest house overnight called Farm and Friends, which is a therapeutic farm in Big Rock, Illinois. This harvest host has electric and water for a donation, of course. It was very quiet, and they had some nice grounds to walk around. We were only here for one night, so we didn't really get to see much. The next morning, we set off early to get to Hodgenville, Kentucky, to the Abraham Lincoln Birthplace National Monument. The visitor center was small, but they did have a nice little film introducing you to Lincoln's birthplace and his life in Kentucky. On the ground, we were expecting to see something like a log cabin, but actually they have a monument built on top of where the log cabin used to sit. That night, we stayed at a harvest house in Glasgow, Kentucky, called Born Again Antiques and Oddities. This harvest house had electric and water, but we only needed electric for the night to combat the heat. Not only do they have parking for RVs, but they have a bunch of little small buildings that they rent out for people staying overnight. The next day, we made our way to Birmingham, Alabama, and the first stop was Hattie B's Fried Chicken. Alright, as usual, you gotta have dark meat, medium, right?
Yeah.
You got medium?
I got
And I'm getting white meat hot. Both have collard greens, Janetta's having potato salad, and I'm having mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is good. Greens. Good. Now let me get a taste of the chicken. Oh, that's a heat to it too.
Of course, you got hot.
I got hot.
Expect?
Yep, very good. So we are in. After lunch, we stopped by the Birmingham Civil Rights. After lunch, we stopped by the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute. The Civil Rights Institute is located right across the street from the 16th Street Baptist Church, which is best known for the bombing in 1963 that killed 4 little black girls. While they allowed photographs, they did ask you to refrain from making any videos inside the institute. Of course, the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute had displays detailing what life was like before, during, and after the civil rights movement. Being born in 1961, a lot of these events happened in my lifetime, even though I was too young to remember most of them. One of my earliest memories of the civil rights movement was when Martin Luther King was shot in 1968. I do remember that. While many of the exhibits displayed the hatred and evilness of the Jim Crow era, I think this display showing the bombing of the church really summed it up.
Good morning. Today is Monday, August 4th, and we are at Birmingham South RV Park, just south of Birmingham, Alabama, of course. This is a full hookup RV park, and we have a pretty decent slot. I am up early as usual. I think Janetta's awake, but she's probably watching YouTube on her phone underneath the covers. I'm going to take a quick walk while I sip on some coffee and show you around the park. That is an interesting RV. Timberwolf Loft.
Pretty much a standard RV park. Pretty quiet for being next to the highway. The office and the store, but of course, this is early in the morning and the store was closed. There's also a pool and a kid's playground. And look, there's a leisure travel van's wonder. Our last sightseeing stop for this trip was the Tuskegee Airmen's National Monument. We parked up top on a bluff overlooking the airfield where we could see the buildings, Hangar 2 and Hangar 1. Hangar 1 concentrated more on the technical points of becoming a fighter pilot. In here you have the details about the daily lives of the pilots, including the dual nature of their lives. Trying to learn to fight for the United States while still not being afforded equal rights. There were displays dedicated to the equipment used and to the staffing at the facility, including both civilian and Army personnel. One word of caution, there is no air conditioning in Hangar 1. Hangar 2 was dedicated more to the racial struggles encountered by the people training to be pilots. It was thought that black people were inferior and could never learn to be pilots, so these men had to fight the racists at home and the Nazis overseas. Of course, they were eventually allowed to fly missions overseas, and they acquitted themselves as you would expect.
All right, so on our way to the Frank State Park. We've stopped by this barbecue roadhouse on the side of the road. It's called Barbecue House since 1982. So we're gonna try it out.
Whew. Oh yes, air conditioned too. Anything here? No. All right, I got the brisket, beans, and potato salad. Janetta got a big ass barbecue sandwich, some coleslaw, and onion rings. Test this out. All right, so the brisket's pretty good. Potato salad's just okay, but
Coleslaw's good. Coleslaw's good.
Janetta says the coleslaw's good. She's going to be biting into her sandwich and it's falling all apart on her. Good. All right. Good lunch. While we waited for Hurricane Debbie to clear its way out of Florida, we spent a couple of days at the Frank Jackson State Park just outside of Alabama. In every other place, we had routed our Starlink cable through our empty entertainment center storage area. But here, because of all the tree cover, we needed to move it out. So what we did was we ran an extension cable, indoor-outdoor extension cable, along our site. We have the junction to the extension cable covered up by this mat and then wrapped in a plastic bag. We have the power supply for Starlink in another plastic bag held in place by a piece of wood. Then we have our Starlink router in a plastic bag held in place by a piece of wood. And then way over here is where we had to place the Starlink to get a clear line of sight to the sky. But that seemed to work out just fine. It is still a very nice campsite. Probably one of the 2 or 3 best that we've been in on this trip. The lake is nice, although today it's going to be hot and humid. But we're only here for one more day and then we start the trip home. While we were away, the last couple of days, the Hurricane Betty hit the Big Bend of Florida, so we actually decided to stay here an extra day rather than traversing across Florida to get home. But it's all cleared out now, and we're going to head around the Big Bend back to Ocala starting tomorrow morning. I hope you enjoyed this series from our shakedown of the Leisure Travel Vans Unity 24 Murphy Bed Lounge. Next week, we'll be bringing you a tour of the RV and showing you how we set up the storage and living areas. We'll also give you a brief review showing our likes and very few dislikes of the unit. We'll see you then.